Sony is continuing the full-frame orgy with this, the A99. But what's it all about?
Sony is a purveyor of translucent mirror technology, which they've essentially adopted as their own in the digital realm. This is the A99, and it slots in nicely at the top of the line, the flag bearer.
What's more, this is a full-frame translucent mirrored camera. This is the most fun potentially you can have with a translucent mirror. Apart from those two-way ones that you can probably put in the changing rooms that you can perv on people. It's alright, I'm not into kids.
First off, the rather unique looks.
What the hell were they thinking?
Frankly, it's quite a bizarre looking thing. I guess it runs in the family.
You know, like last time I said the A77 looked a bit like that. I mean, usual DSLRs are like this. But this is like... I feel bad for saying that. This is worse. It's like... Oh. No.
Well, even though it looks like a builder's bum, at least the rest of the builder is useful for something, and this has some other useful, interesting features.
Now this quite clearly is a dude because it's got a knob on the front here and you're supposed to twiddle with it. When you look through the viewfinder, you'll see that you can actually customize it. What you do is hold this down, then you've got focus mode, AF area, select AF area, boring, blah, 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 blah. And then to activate it when you're shooting, using it, you just press it once and you turn the knob.
It's a brilliant idea, a customizable twiddly knob. It looks like a wart on the front of the camera, but it's a top-notch nubbin for adjusting things on the go.
It's not about it looks, is it? It's about how it performs. Anyway, you're looking through the arse end most of the time. As they say, if you don't like the face, take it from behind, and you will be doing that. And this is marvellous. You can forget about its ugliness. It's like being in the dark.
Being in the dark, watching a small cinema screen, that is.
It's like a video game or something. Like you're in a bloody Matrix. At which point Keanu Reeves, played by Keanu Reeves, comes out, flies in by bullet time.
The EVF is fantastic, simple as that. Note that you don't see things in slow-mo like this though.
This is the same 2.4 million dot EVF as seen in the A77. So it's really quite good. There's no doubt that Sony leads the way in terms of this kind of technology. EVF is brilliant. Crisp, clear and detailed. But it's really questioning the need of optical viewfinders. It's brilliant stuff. I mean, let's forget about its cosmetically challengedness. The feel of it is actually quite nice, ergonomics-wise. Fits in the hand nicely, nice grip here. Nice and chunky, rubbery, stickiness. All the buttons are within easy reach. You've got the ISO button here, exposure comp, white balance, and the drive mode. And the change from the LCD to the electronic viewfinder is pretty quick actually. And there's a whole plethora of buttons on the back here. They've gone crazy with it. Don't even know what half of them means.
When you look at the back of the camera, you can see that most of the buttons are laid out on the right side. That means that you need to use the thumb on your right hand for all those operations.
Zoom into focus, especially if you want to do manual focus. Oh, I bought Sony so I can mount other lenses on it to do manual focus. Do that, and you can put the peaking mode on it. Wherever the fuck it is. It's in Beijing! Glistening and white, no jokes. We're just now going into the fish market. Wet market, fish market. I'll use a fish eye for that. Because otherwise your pictures don't come out. This really feels nice to shoot with actually. I can forgive it for not being a looker. Oh, bird flu are us.
When it comes to the shooting, the A99 doesn't disappoint. This is pretty adept at focusing in this dark and damp fish market. It's quick and doesn't hunt around. Snaps onto focus like a piranha to a finger.
All those people say we take lots of pictures of meat. You're wrong.
You get some nice files from it too. Things look very nice at ISO 1600.
That's from Aliens. Whoa! Burst out of your stomach. Alright, we should get the nasty bits out of the way, apart from the nasty looks. It's not cheap. It's kind of priced in between a D600 and D800. That's a lot of money for this. Well, this has got a full frame sensor, as I mentioned, so that is why it does cost quite a bit of money. The thing is, even though Nikon say that they developed the sensor, or they kind of imply it, the one in D600, the 24 megapixel sensor, this has a 24 megapixel full frame sensor.
You do get a lot of numbers for your money.
It's also got a heck load of autofocus points. Well, standard's got 19 and 11 cross time. But you've got an option to have 102 extra autofocus points. Woof. Yes, please. Slight problem though. It only works with 6 Sony lenses, not this one. So now we can do a little AF test with this. Didn't have a rally car, so this is the closest we can get. You're driving. Do you know how to drive? So you're going to come down from that kind of biggish slope over there, do power slide, drift around there. All right, I'll stand here behind the metal barrier, which will keep me safe. Oh, this is quick. Action!
I know it's a fisheye, so everything should be pretty much in focus, but that is properly locked onto lock, all the way down the hill.
That's it. Another one. Yeah, I'm going to try the live view now. Don't actually need to, I just thought I'd make him do it again. Mirror, signal, maneuver. Oh, look at that. Madness. This is brilliant, this is. And then there you go, Killer Cyclist.
It's a shame that 10 FPS comes only in crop mode. The standard 6 FPS burst is hardly anything to shout about. The 5D Mark III can do that.
Get a room. Wear condoms. AIDS is hanging about the corner. AIDS is everywhere. It's quite actually well featured in terms of video mode. You've got your mic input and the headphone input together there, the same flappy bit, and they've color coded it just so you can't get it bloody wrong. You can actually get an XLR K1M XLR input as well to add an XLR cable. That's for people who are really serious about audio recording with the dynamics and the condensers. You can put it straight into here via an adapter. We don't want your 3.5mm jack. That's a load of jack. Now the front wheel is also usable in the video mode as well. You can customize it. But because there's no clicky bits, it won't ruin your sound recording if you're using the internal mic, which if you're really serious, you wouldn't be doing that anyway. But the thing is, with the sound levels, now with your Canon 5D Mark III, Mark II, you can see when the sound is clipping it, it actually changes to yellow and then red. Hello! It just stays green. Hello! Oh! 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 I'm going to test the auto-focusing, continuous autofocus in video mode Got the 50 on, kind of shallow focus.
The internal IS works well enough to smooth the video out a bit.
Not so bad. That's alright.
As we return the shopping trolley, I decided to do some noise tests. Things look pretty decent at ISO 1600 and also 3200, though you can notice some bits of fine colour noise in the midtones. ISO 6400 looks a little rougher, but it's still usable, until you get to ISO 12800 and things start turning to mush. But one last thing, of course, we wanted to test out all of those focus points.
And now we've finally got this 15mm 1.4 from Sony, and it works with all of those extra 102 autofocusing points. So you can see it on the screen there. Wow, look at that. But actually they're all quite cramped together. It's like a pair of lungs with points in it.
19 plus 102 AF points sounds amazing, but the layout of those extra AF points don't look too amazing.
Anyway, let's test it out. Still, there's only 11 cross-type autofocus points, and we're going to test it with Alambi running. She's coming in her running gear. Oh yeah, no need to rush in. No need to rush in. Just take your time. Take your time. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that. That's vicious. So mostly works well, just like Alambi running. All of those 102 focusing points just on her face. I mean, I can just be very precise on what I want to focus on. Focus on her, her eye, eyelash, eyebrow.
You could say that those extra AF points are useful for focusing on the finer details, but still, it does make one think that it sounds better than it actually is in use. The layout is slightly odd. When you have the rule of thirds grid up, all the focusing squares are in the centre box. Still, regardless of how many AF points are actually usable and with what lens, I've had a blindingly good time with the A99. This is one of the more unconventional full-frame cameras I've seen, but it just goes to prove that it doesn't have to be the same formula over and over again. Sony is taking the translucent mirror technology somewhere, although I'm sure they could still turn it up a notch, especially with providing an even higher burst rate. Sony has shown that they can challenge the other multimedia full-framers from Canon and Nikon. If all one has to pick at is the rather odd looks, then you know that it must be quite a good camera.